Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. Hi, Ava. Your mommy loves you. And so does all of YouTube. Spoiled girl. Hello, Catherine Gaston. So my daughter, for Mother's Day, she got me a cow print. We live in Wisconsin. And she went to Cave of the Mounds for a class trip. Stalactites and stalagmites, but it's not just any old little notebook. It is a travel notebook to hold these pennies that have gone through this roller machine. And we did these when she was a little kid. Come on, focus. It's not focusing. When she was a little kid, we would go and we put the pennies in the machine, you crank the wheel, and it imprints a design. There we go. And this book holds the imprinted coins. She's like, I know you collect coins now, and I don't know if you still collect these. Coin collectors, cringe now that I know about, the value of pennies. we kind of cringe at those machines, but the memories that I have of her as a little girl cranking that machine and spitting out these, pennies with the details of the location, those are unforgettable. Hi, Chinny. Hello, Salty Buddha. Good to see you, sweetie. Mwah. Hello, Linda Applegate. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's your girl. It's your girl. We've got some amazing moms right here in our own little community. And I know because they adopted me. This is my first Mother's Day without my biological mom. But so many of you stepped up to the plate and said, I think of you like a daughter. And now I have moms from all over the world. Yes, she's a happy girl. Happy girl. Hey, and she wants all the attention. It has been, it's been a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous outside. It's kind of a chilly night, though. It's like one of those sit by the fireplace kind of nights. And so it is such a good thing that if I get cold, I have my Crying Fez hoodie because I need it tonight. We got a live one. Oh, yes. We have someone making a special appearance. Wouldn't you know it? I know that this one is unreleased. So it is from, if I recall, November of 23, I believe. So I went all the way back in the dockets. I went to when I started. And I found this gem. So I hope you all enjoy.
First case is Tariq Crump versus Ashanti D. Lott. Rachel St. LaFleur for the plaintiff. Anybody here?
am the
Hello?
authorized representative for the entity Ashanti Deanna Lot.
You're who?
I'm the authorized representative for the entity Ashanti Deanna Lot.
Anybody here from Ms. Crump? Well, we'll see if they show up. We ever hear from Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Judge. She should be on in about 5 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll take a 5-minute recess, I guess. All right, looks like we have everybody here. Ms. St. Fleur, you ready?
Good morning, Judge Corsi.
Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready. And thank you so much, Your Honor. I do apologize. I did have a trial this morning before Judge Wong, and we sent the conflict letter to the to the person the staff attorney that's no longer with Judge Berry. So my sincere apologies. And I thought my paralegal filed it, but she probably did not.
Okay. So you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This matter was a while back, Your Honor, in 2020. This was a legitimation action with petition for legitimation to establish custody, child support, and visitation. When we went to court, Your Honor, we filed a motion to compel, I think, in that case, Your Honor, and opposing side, the defendant did not respond. Your Honor, per that order, Your Honor, we ended up filing a petition. The petitioner ended up filing a motion for contempt, Your Honor, because the court ordered that we end up filing a motion for contempt, Your Honor, because the defendant owed $2,755.40 of attorney fees. Your Honor, and I think that was encompassed because she failed to respond to the motion to compel, and Judge Berry granted me that motion. And Your Honor, we attached it to the plaintiff's motion for incarceration, Your Honor, that was attached as Exhibit A. Your Honor, since that time, Your Honor, we've appeared before Judge Berry a few times, Your Honor, and surprisingly, this is the first time Ms. Lott has appeared since that petition, since our trial in 2020. Your Honor, I've tried to reach out to Ms. Lott a few times, Your Honor, to no avail. Your Honor, she's been included on all of the email correspondence with the court. Your Honor, she's willfully failed and refused to pay the attorney fees. Your Honor, last time we were in court, I think Judge Berry, I thought she granted the contempt and stated that because we did request for incarceration, Your Honor, and I guess we're here and just we're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today, Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time, Your Honor. I charge my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lott. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789. And the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship. 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged, or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accepted, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
You have any questions for Ms. Lott or Ms. St. Fleur?
I didn't want to interrupt her whole spiel, but right off the bat, I can tell you she's full of it, because no one is friends with the IRS. No one.
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for a legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your...
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. If we're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
St. Fleur?
It's St. Fleur. Were you in court? I mean, I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well, anything further, Ms. St. Fleur?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Lott, we have an order that was entered back on February 13th of this year, saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's
Your
that
law-
$20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment. So I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
Or any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American.
Okay.
Mr. Crump, who is a U.S. citizen, however, has also violated the own court order that he brought into matter, because my child is supposed to go to school in DeKalb County, and he decided that he wasn't going to do that, Your Honor. This man is abusive, and at this point, I am over this whole situation.
Well, that's not before the court today.
Yep. Because, I mean, at this point, I'll take it up with God. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine.
Tyreek, back up. Go back in.
What?
All right, Ms. Lott, I'm gonna find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So,
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
no, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn
Do not
yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over
That's
me.
fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And we'll send you a copy of the order. Okay. All right. Anything?
It's good seeing you, Judge. It's been a long time, Judge. I hope
Yeah.
the government is treating you well.
Yeah. It's the way to go.
Yeah, we have no further business with I have no further business with the court. May I be excused?
You send your order to Ms. Carr.
I definitely will.
Okay.
I put my information in the chat, Judge.
All right. Okay, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Oh, that was too much fun. Now, you heard at the beginning that they were waiting on Miss St. Fleur. And this next case is the hearing that happened in between. So we're still going to see Miss Lott on screen the whole time. But we're back to, I don't want to say normal, because it's certainly not normal, but we're back to yes. Oh, absolutely. But aren't they all? Aren't they all? Oh, hold on, guys. I'm going to hit start, but then I got to mute and go off camera because my child needs me.
Malika Hameen versus Willie L. Kearse Jr.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Matt Strobel for plaintiff, Ms. Hameen.
And if I could be heard, this is Willie Kearse.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I filed a motion for continuance here. Just gonna see if we could get that granted today.
What's the basis for the motion?
Well, Your Honor, we obviously the defendant is here. We only got him served notoriously, so we were gonna try and get him personally served so he could file an answer. And then the original attorney on this case was Mara Block, and it was transferred to me, and I only because of some confusion, I only found out about this hearing yesterday at about 3:30 p.m. So I was just going to try and get a continuance so we could have some time to prep and potentially talk to the defendant and try and work something out.
Do you have any objection, Mr. Kearse?
No, sir. Can I be heard? I can't. I'm not familiar with Zoom
Yeah,
too well. You can? Okay, yes, sir. I do not have one as well. My attorney is out of town and would like to also be here in place to represent me, but he's out of town and he's asking for the same thing, sir. So no, I do not object.
Great.
Why don't you say who your attorney is?
My attorney is Dennis Collard.
Collard, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll continue it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that's my only business. May I be excused today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I as well, sir. May I be excused, Your
Yes.
Honor? I didn't hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Continued success with your day.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Priscilla Freitas versus Vivian Auerbach.
Yes.
Um,
And I'm Vivian Auerbach. I am,
both of you are representing yourselves.
yes, sir. I am anyway. Vivian is.
Well, I am too, Your Honor.
Does LaFleur ever show up? Saint Fleur? What happened to her? All right, Ms. Freitas and Ms. Auerbach, raise your right hands. Each of you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter now in the hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes. I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Okay. All right, Ms. Freitas, you're the petitioner for contempt. So tell me what your action is all about.
Well, it's just as you can see on the court order, I'm supposed to talk to Josh if he asks her to talk to me, which she doesn't allow him to. She doesn't have a house phone. And I just haven't been seeing him lately because of I guess the supervision. Ms. Robinson is not in it anymore. And it's some other stuff that, that bothers me. Like, for example, what's going on with his school, with his grades. I'm not aware of none of that. If he went to the next level, me and Ms. Robinson, we never hear anything. If we ask her, she doesn't respond, or hours or the next day. That that triggers me a lot when it comes to Joshua. I just want some understanding here, and just so she can do the right thing and let me see my son and talk to my son.
Let's see.
May I respond?
And then,
All right, Ms. Auerbach, what do you say?
Well, we have a visitation agreement, and it's for supervised visitation. And basically what we need to do is to modify that because the approved supervisor for visits was the lady, Ms. Robinson, who was as of 2018 appointed as Priscilla's guardian. She has now resigned due to ill health. So the
Ms. Auerbach, have you activated your video? Now you're muted. Ms. Auerbach, you muted yourself. You need to activate your audio and your video.
Okay, I'm unmuted, but
Where's your video though?
yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is not responding for some reason. I have undone my, let's see, share screen. Okay, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm not particularly.
I'm not either. Down at the bottom, you see a camera with a line through it. That'd be the video.
Yep.
Judge, her video, it started, but it's just not picking up the screen, so she may just need to log out and log back in.
Okay, I could try that.
Okay.
I will attempt that. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right.
There you are.
That worked. I'm sorry.
Okay, good.
That didn't seem to cooperate for a while. Okay, yes, we have to redo the visitation agreement because we no longer have an approved supervisor because her guardian resigned, and the Department of Health Services, I believe it is now listed as her guardian, but apparently not in a position to do so. I deny the issue of her being prevented from seeing or speaking with Joshua. He communicated with her yesterday via text message. He attends boarding school in Gainesville, and he sees her when I see him, which is on school breaks. The business about school records and so forth, I have informed her whenever she has asked what his academic standing is and his grades and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we've had these sorts of issues chronically in terms of complaints about communication, and she's been to court numerous times and trying to invalidate her guardianship and so forth. It's just
Why does she have a guardian?
because she's on Social Security disability for chronic cognitive and mental health issues.
Okay.
She was in special education in the mild intellectually deficient class.
Which Grady didn't have a special education class.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Priscilla.
Classes, just some teachers from those program that sat in the class to make sure if I need help or not.
So let Ms. Auerbach speak and then you can respond.
I'm also, Priscilla's my adopted daughter. I'm also a licensed psychologist. So she underwent numerous psychologicals. The psychologist reported to the court in terms of advocating for guardianship. She's gone through repeated hearings with regard to this. The guardianship was established when she turned 18 at the same age as the adult disabled child designation under Social Security was initiated, and it has been reconfirmed through the courts again, and then I was granted sole permanent custody of her son Joshua, who is now 15 and who has psychiatric issues himself, as well as special education designations. And that's why he is placed in a military school. He had ceased attending school at all, and in fact was referred to the courts for the marshals to get involved in having him attend. He's had 2 psychiatric hospitalizations under involuntary hospitalization under 1013. It goes on and on and on. So
I believe you said in your answer that Ms. Freitas never has completed phase 1 of this.
That's correct.
Detailed visitation schedule.
That's correct. And you know, she doesn't seem to understand that there is that procedure and that she was supposed to have followed it, or she denies that she needs a guardian, and also that she needs any kind of supervision, and so forth. So, you know, that's.
So what do you think we need to do?
I think we need to revise the visitation arrangement. We need to come up with some means of handling the supervision, given this that her guardian has resigned and we don't have another person who can take on that role, and then we'll see from there. I think that ultimately, now that he's 15 and is actually larger than each of us, you know, his physical safety on these visits is something that we can be somewhat more comfortable about, but, you know, I want to follow the what's legal and what's appropriate under the circumstances.
I was looking at the supervision provision, and it says supervised by Tatian Freitas.
Yes, that's that's my other daughter, but she,
Up and left, and then
All right, just a minute, Ms. Freitas.
she moved out of the state, and this was in part because of the frustration of dealing with the situation and being put in the position of having to supervise her sister. So the only supervisor we had was Ms. Robinson, who has now resigned due to ill health. So we have no designated supervisor. She has had occasions when, for example, she's coming to my house for Thanksgiving. And there've been other occasions when I have served in that capacity, but basically she doesn't want any supervision. So that's what we're doing.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like you're the supervisor now.
Well, yeah. But we need to somehow designate this legally so that we can cross all the T's and dot all the I's, I guess.
Well, it also says, or other agreed upon third party. Y'all can't agree on anyone.
Well, that hasn't been, I mean, she doesn't feel she needs a supervisor, so that's part of the disagreement. And then, you know, stepping through phase one and what is necessary along those lines.
Okay. All right, Ms. Freitas, what do you say?
well, you know, dealing with this lady here, Your Honor, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And I try my best not to, you know what I'm saying, go out of the way or do anything crazy. You know what I mean? Because I know how to, you know, keep calm. But this last incident that, you know, that I saw Josh, it was this year. I don't remember like what the last visit was, but when was it? I don't know. She was just, you know, like didn't let him ride his bike, or we go for a ride or something like that. And she just, you know, was making a big deal out of that. And I, you know, asked Josh to go inside her house and get my bag. And I was waiting on my Uber and I went home. And it's just like little stuff that she does that I don't like when it comes to Maxie. And Your Honor, I'm about to be Your Honor, this is the people that blows the leaf. They're making noise and she's barking. I'm about to be 40 years old, February 2nd. You know, as evaluation of I don't know her name, I forgot, but she came here. She's seen how I keep my place and how I take care of myself and my dog. And yeah, I don't need a supervision when it comes to my son, because that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to you know, break me and my son apart, basically. And so was Tati, which my sister, which, you know what I'm saying, I don't hold grudges, because what she did to her own blood, that's not right here, because I won't do her like that at all when it comes to this. So all of this, you know what I'm saying, it's been going on for 6 years. And, you know what I'm saying, I don't sleep like that. I don't eat like that, because I'll be worried about my son every day. And because I don't hear from him, I got to call the school. And sometimes the school be trying to play with my brain, like, okay, it's up to Vivian, or, you know what I'm saying? That's not what the court order says. And she's been violating since day one, this court order, since day one. Yes, you have. You have. And Ms. Robinson will vouch for that. And I wish she could come up here and say that. And I have screenshots of everything. 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 Everything.
May I?
And that can be brought up too. I can go.
Well, how do you say she violated?
Yes, since day one. Not letting me see Josh on Mother's Day, on his birthday. She don't let us know when she's taking him out of town. I'll be worried about that because I don't know what this lady's doing with my son. That's why I don't sleep at night since he's been taken away from me. So I don't know what her deal is here, but she needs to end this. It needs to stop. I'm independent.
Have you ever taken these drug tests?
Say it again.
Visitation schedule says you're supposed to submit to and pass a urine drug
All
test.
of that, Your Honor, all of that. When I was going through legal aid,
Yeah.
those sorry lawyers never got back with us saying that, hey, we're going to step back. We never heard from those lawyers from legal aid. So that case was closed.
You never took the drug test.
Where to go, when to take the drug test and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I haven't done none of that because that's why I'm opening up the case back again. So I can get all this removed and the guardianship removed, and so I can, live my life the way I want to live with my son.
That's not how any of that works. That's not how any of that works. Just because those sorry lawyers stepped back or probably withdrew due to conflicts of, maybe personality or non-compliance, just because they withdrew doesn't mean the case is closed. It doesn't mean you're absolved of having to take the drug tests to see your child.
Without somebody trying to control my life and his.
May I?
All right, Ms. Auerbach.
With regard to whatever, I guess the issue with regard to the bike riding, I think there was an occasion when she was here and we were, so she was having a visit here at the house. And I believe
a big deal about.
Wait 1 second. So, leaving the area on a bike meant that she would be away from me and away from supervision. So I wasn't comfortable with that. As it was, she was here in the house and she was, in his room with him. But, I don't know what to tell you. The business about, phase one hasn't been completed. Let me put it that way. And with regard to his contacts with each of us, the school has permission for her to speak with him. However, it is a military school, so that if he's in class or if he's, whatever, he may not be accessible by phone, but he's allowed to speak with her. I email him and he almost never responds. Once in a while, the officers there will hook us up for a conversation or something, usually when he wants something. And then
let me ask you this. Did you do anything to prevent her from completing phase one?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Apparently she never took these drug tests.
Yes, nor the class. And I mean, I don't think she understands what is involved is part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, she's claim you're in contempt, but it sounds like she's failed to do anything. So I'll deny the petition. I don't know what more I can do than that.
Do we need a separate hearing with regard to the adaptation or modification of the visitation agreement?
Well, I can modify it, but what do you propose?
I have
Well,
something to say, Your Honor.
All right, we'll let her speak and then I'll hear from you.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess what I would, if we can complete phase one, then I guess we can proceed into phase two, and she can graduate to some unsupervised visitation. You know, I'm okay with that, particularly under these circumstances, as long as his schooling and his psychiatric and other medical visits are, you know, not interfered with. I don't have any problem with that.
Well, you still wanted to complete phase one.
I would, yes. And you know, I mean, I'm willing to serve in the supervisory capacity until that's completed.
Okay.
If you know, if we don't have anybody else to readily do that.
Okay.
And
What about the drug test? She still need those?
I don't know. And that's, you know, so
We'll leave it in there.
okay.
in Your Honor.
Just a minute.
Mhm.
And then what'd you say about phase two, Ms. Auerbach?
We can, once those stipulations for completing phase one are completed, I'm okay with, you know, progressing to phase two. That was always the plan.
Yeah.
It's just she never did it.
You continue to supervise.
I did get my certificate for the class. I did get that out the way.
All right.
I did go to
Just a minute. Ms. Auerbach, phase two says she's gonna have weekend visitation supervised.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You're probably not gonna do that.
we'll, yeah, the overnight aspect of it, I mean, I won't be able, we could probably do within we could do unsupervised during the day, and I mean, it just would get complicated to do overnight for me to also be the supervisor under those circumstances. So
that shouldn't matter though.
I mean, so what are you saying?
Phases, why would that matter though, Your Honor?
All right, just a minute.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Auerbach, so what are you saying as to phase two?
So
I doubt you can find a supervisor who would stay with her for the entire.
I thought, yeah, but once I completed all the phases, why would that matter if she would be in here or not with me?
but that's not all the phases, Priscilla. That's just, we're talking about ending, if you give the certificate and then do the drug test, you'll be out of phase one, but you'll still have some supervised visitation, and we're discussing how or if we can figure that out.
Yeah. So back to phase two. How would she be able to have overnight visitation?
Yeah, I think what perhaps we need to do a step down for unsupervised visitation during the day, and then assuming all of that goes well, that she would end up having to evolve into unsupervised overnight visitation.
We would change phase two so that it would be supervised. Well, you say unsupervised.
Well, yeah, it would start with supervised day, then unsupervised day, then unsupervised overnight.
I got you.
In other words, a step down in that regard.
So phase 2, you saying unsupervised visitation from 10 a.m. on Sunday to 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay, that's okay with me. And again, this is during school breaks, because again, he's attends boarding school, so it would be during the times when he is out of school.
Okay, so that would apply to phase 1 too. Be during school breaks.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the residential school didn't begin until after all of this occurred. His issues evolved, and he needed a residential school.
Okay, and then phase 3 just remained the same.
Okay.
So you would have unsupervised visitation.
Yes, sir.
Based from 10 a.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Also during school breaks, I guess.
Yes, sir.
What grade is he in?
He's a freshman in high school.
Freshman.
He's at Riverside Military Academy in Gainesville.
What about the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, given that it obviously everything's complicated by the fact that this is family. We generally do a Christmas Eve here, and she's welcome to participate in that. In terms of other holidays, I'm okay with, particularly now that we're getting toward the unsupervised visits and stuff. I have no objection to Mother's Day and so forth being enacted as described.
Okay.
And we have family Thanksgiving that she can, and Christmas that she can participate in. It just, in the past, her former guardian would sometimes include her in those activities, and so it was an option for potentially that she and Joshua could have done that, but
All right, well, let's just take Thanksgiving since that's coming up pretty quick.
yeah, we have already agreed that she's coming to my house for Thanksgiving.
Okay. This is all subject to supervision, and you're the supervisor. Okay. All right. Anything else? Ms. Friedis, what do you say to all this?
I'm okay with all the steps needs to be taken.
Okay, well, Ms. Auerbach's going to have to be the supervisor.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to comply with these different phases.
Yeah, as long as she don't give me a hard time, Your Honor, I'm okay. She's okay with,
I'm sure both of you are trying to do what's best for the
yes,
child.
right. Is right.
And the child's now, I say child, 15 years old. He's now
in which I do, Your Honor. I do it for Josh, even though it's kind of hard with dealing with her, but
well, he's in that boarding school, so that makes things a little more difficult too.
yes,
but
definitely.
that's probably good for him.
Yeah, which he has he's been bullied at that school. He told me in the past.
Yeah, well, military school is pretty strict, as I understand.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I really don't think that Miss Auerbach is the problem here. Miss Frida sounds like she is 15 herself and still has a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll try to come up with an order and I'll send y'all a copy of it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
So we allowed is
You're excused, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
No, you missed the whole thing. I could have used you tonight. All the laughs and the jokes. You missed a soft sit that looked like she had her head run over by a bicycle right down the middle. No more. Not anymore. That's why I've been off for so long. Oh my goodness. Oh, Rocky Lennon, thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day, sweetie. Well, you gotta give me your phone number for that one. Man, this has not been a time of rest for me. Like, I did not take a vacation on y'all. I swear. I promise this was no vacation. Big shout out to Ace Hardware. They very generously, because when I rented it, I mean, clearly I've got my walker, when I went into the store to rent it and stuff, because I didn't know how much standing there was gonna be or walking, which department I'd have to walk to, or thankfully it was right by the front doors. But so I've got my walker, and I did it for the 48-hour period, and the guy said, you got to have this back by Saturday at 6 p.m. and you've got to have it all cleaned, or there's X amount of deposit that we keep, for the cleaning fee, and yada yada, all the spiel, and I was like, oh man, I do not think that I'm going to be able to get this done in 48 hours, and he goes, tell you what, as long as it's back by Sunday at 8 a.m. when we open, we won't charge you extra. And I was like, hot damn. And they honored it too. Like, I took it back, there were no problems, but I'm really glad they gave me that extra time, because I mean, really it was not much different than walking backwards with my walker, which is what, one of my physical therapy tasks. So I mean, the hardest part was emptying the water tank and then refilling it, but I had some help for that. But there was a lot of standing, a lot of walking, and yeah, it definitely tested my limits. And then today, oh, Army Brett, thank you, sweetie. I love you so much. Thank you. Well, yeah, I ended up oh, for sure. Ace Hardware, they got my heart right now. So then today, my amazing neighbor, I've talked about him 100 times on here. My wonderful neighbor drops off a lawnmower, because I don't know if y'all, some of you know, but I lost all government services, all my I still get my Social Security disability, but I no longer have my medical assistance where they have services come help me. So I don't have long care anymore. I don't have, where they replace my medical equipment, and I don't have any of that. And so he noticed my lawn was getting long. So he just randomly drops off a lawnmower, and I'm like, well, that ain't for me. And he's like, fire it up, give it a shot. It was self-propelled, full front wheel drive, and he had modified it a bit. So it literally was just like, all I had to do was not fall. It did all the work. Like, it was so amazing. So I mowed lawn for the first time in a long time. 2.5 years since I got hit by the SUV. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? Tonight, like that, with you guys, that covers it. You guys just covered my carpet cleaner rental. Well, pretty close. It's like 2/3 of the way. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll definitely have to. Toma, Wisconsin, y'all. Toma, Wisconsin. We're where it's at. You guys do. You guys are amazing. I tell you that all the time. You're my favorite people. I don't like many humans. So yeah. It was really great. It was cool to be out in the sunshine and to actually feel like I accomplished something, even though it was all, smoke and mirrors illusion. Like I said, all I had to do was hold the mower and not fall. And I didn't do my front because it wasn't that bad, and I killed it. The mower, I killed it. I ran over something, and so so I got it back to the backyard and hollered at my neighbor, and he goes, "That's all you got in you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll see it next week." He goes, "What?" Like as if I will see you next week. I'm like, "I guess I'll see it next week." And I'm pointing at the mirror. He's like, "Oh, okay." Yes. Well, that's all I got for tonight. It was such a busy day, such a busy last 4 days. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I took this much time away. I couldn't even access my computer for a while. So, thank you so much. I know you meant cute. I know you did. But you guys are my cure. I know. I'm telling you, love. I'm telling you. You'd have had so much fun with it. See, I knew what you meant. I speak texties. Or what was that one that person said the other day? Lawyerese. I don't speak lawyerese. You mean legalese. No. They had way more pride back then. They had way more pride in their hair back in the 70s. In the 70s, nope, that would not have been allowed. Nope. They would have told her to fix it up. Oh yeah, Earl for the visit. He was so cuddly. Eileen E. Carlin, if you have not seen, I posted a Mother's Day photo today. Earl, I was sitting on the couch taking a break, and Earl's not a cuddler, not at all. But he came up and he just had to cuddle behind my knees. And it was the most special moment. He just wanted to be pet, and he wanted to curl up in a little ball. And that is so not like him. It was so precious. I was not there. I was about 12 years later. Oh, guys, thank you all so much. So much for coming and hanging out with me. We had a lot of people in here. We did. There was like 44 at one time. And that for this time of night, that's huge. That's a big number for this time of night. So, but I don't know if y'all can hear me. My friend is snoring. So I'm going to follow suit. I am going to cuddle up with Earl. He's currently up in his box, but when I lay down, he's gonna come cuddle with me. He's my kitty. He's my buddy. And I'm sure Ava will cuddle too. Ava's a good cuddler. Thank you so much for being here. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.